So welcome back to Live at the Loft, and Henry is enjoying Kathryn's calming energy as we talk with her. So Kathryn, we've gone through kind of the fact that your gift, you discovered it very young, or rather people around you, because to you it was something that was just you.
Of course, yeah.
But as you've grown and all of the experiences that you've added to your life and the things that you've done, how have you seen this gift change and develop? Now, you mentioned that at one point you began to channel.
Right, that was a huge change for me.
And what is channeling for people who don't really know they've heard it?
Channeling is really allowing an entity, I guess, a being, and it could be any number of things, your guides, to use your vocal cords and speak through you. So what it feels like a little bit is taking a short nap, stepping aside, and letting them. And so, you know, people ask me about this. They can't speak anything I can't speak. You know, in terms of languages, for example. I mean, they use my vocal cords. They also use my memory banks, my access of things that I know, to try to help them understand when people ask questions, for example, because they aren't human, and they never have been. So, right, neither are you, yes.
So, what are they? How would you best describe the entities or the Light Collective then if they aren't and never have been human? I was going to do that.
They're beings from, and they tell me, from another dimension. And dimension meaning, you know, we have many dimensions in our world. Time is a dimension, space is a dimension. And so I envision it kind of like baklava, you know, a bunch of layers that when you put the honey on the baklava, it kind of can permeate through. That's what I envision our universe is looking like. And so, you know, maybe they're up here and I'm down here, but their information can permeate through me. They tell me they don't have physical bodies the way we do. They're more light and vibrational beings. And so they can live in a different sort of, more beyond our imagining, I think, really, as to how you would live in a completely different dimension. But how do they talk to me? They talk in my brain. I hear them in my brain.
And you just... So here's question number 2 on that. Why, here's the cynic, right?
Oh, yeah, I'm a cynic.
Why is it
bizarre? You're cynical about yourself, but that's a whole other story.
Why do they care enough about us to want to share information that could be helpful?
Well, you know, that's a really good question. I think, too. One, I think they're just very loving beings that want to aid the world. And not only just our world. I mean, I'm fully certain that they do this in many, many other dimensions. Because there's apparently just an unlimited number of dimensions. The other thing that they have said is that our world is very important. And that what happens in our world affects their world. So, and they are very much desiring for us to not live in a fear dimension, not dimension, but a fear mentality, a fear place, because it trickles, the baklava thing, it trickles up to them or down to them, depending on where they are on the great cosmic scheme of things.
Well, then that brings up something very interesting, because right now our world is very, very fearful.
Very fear-based, yeah.
And so what sort of a message are they bringing, or could you bring to people that are listening right now?
They actually have 8 kind of principles that they say, so, you know, if you know these principles, you'll know everything you need to know about the universe, life, and everything there is. You know, I actually have them on my website, and we've done a DVD with them. But one of their principles really has to do with the idea that there are, and we've heard this, I think, before, but there's really only 2 emotions, love and fear. And everything else, every other emotion is one of those 2 things. You can always trace it back. And part of what they say is that, you know, if you're feeling angry, you're really not angry, you're actually fearful. If you figure out what you're afraid of, you're at least getting closer to figuring out what's going on. But they're pretty simplistic. I mean, in their way of doing it, it's our choice to feel fear or to feel love. We have that. They say we live in a free will universe, and one of the unique things with this, apparently, is that we are free to choose our emotions. And so part of their message is to choose love, to make sure that that's the emotion that you choose when you have a choice, which is always. So the other principles, and I could go through them, it would take me some time, but it's really a fascinating body of knowledge that they're bringing in. And they're really bringing it in because they want us, humans, to be influenced toward the love dimension. It makes the world, the cosmos, work better.
Interesting that we are such an integral part, because it you know, when we sit back and think about humans, some of us, and I can look over at my husband has this thing. What he does is he feels like sometimes he can get outside of himself. Henry is too.
He's very naughty right
He
now.
is. Do you want to take a break?
Yes.
Let's take a break.
Henri.
Whoa, you want to come over here, don't you, Henry?
I think he
Yes, he wants to come right here.
Yeah.
Come on.
Come here, sweetie, you don't mind.